Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this afternoon with Fred and Murphy. What we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is her ability to understand and respond to her obedience commands, the correction and the motivations that we give the dogs when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Fred's using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded in his right hand. That leaves the left hand free to give the correction, and the only correction that we give is a little tiny tug and let go on the training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Murphy's going to come home with her very own training collar, and you'll be taught how to use that properly during your follow-up training session. Now she's sitting very nicely at Fred's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done, and the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. The command is Murphy heel, and at that point Murphy has a job to do, and that is to stay even with your left leg, not dragging you down the street. And each time that you stop your feet, whether it's to cross traffic or talk to a neighbor, she should sit automatically without being told to wait for her next command. So this makes walking your large dog a pleasure, because you're not being dragged down the street, and when you stop, she sits automatically without being told. The next command that Fred's going to demonstrate is the stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word command. The long sit stay when you're practicing at home is for 1 minute, working up to 3 minutes. And we do recommend that you practice indoors as well as outdoors. When Fred returns back to her, he will walk all the way around her, returning all the way back around to heel position as an additional distraction. He gives her a little pat for praise, and they take off heeling again. And this heel exercise is really important to my clients who live in the city because they have a dog that's well controlled on the street. Fred leaves her in another sit stay, walks out to the end of the training leash. Now lengthen out the amount of time that you can stand there with her at home so that she learns maturity and focus. This time, instead of returning back to her, Fred's going to call her. He uses her name. He praises her on the way in. She's been taught to come and sit right in front of you so she's not jumping on you. And then she returns back to heel and back sitting. Very nice job. And they're going to demonstrate that again for us.
Stay.
Fred leaves her in a stay. He's going to use her name and lighten his tone of voice, and he praises her on the way in. So coming to you is always a good thing. She comes in and sits, and they go back to heel position. Everything starts and stops at that left-hand side with the dog seated. Very nicely done. Now the next exercises that we're going to demonstrate for you are good self-control exercises. This first one is down from a heel position. So with your dog seated at your left, you use your left open palm straight down toward the ground and the one-word command to down, and you tell her to stay. The long down stay when you're practicing at home is for 3 to 5 minutes. So you can actually practice this exercise while you're eating dinner. All of these exercises are indoors as well as outdoors. When Fred returns back to her, he walks all the way around her, returning all the way back around to heel position. She should remain lying there until she gets her next command. Fred heels her out of that, and we're going to demonstrate that down from a heel position one more time. She's really come a long way and done a really good job here at school. Left open palm straight down toward the ground. She's going to get comfortable. Fred leaves her in a stay. And we'll be there to help you and coach you when she comes home so that you feel like you know what you're doing. And this time, instead of returning back to her, Fred's going to call her out of that down. She got up very willingly and comes and sits right in front, and then returns back to heel and back sitting. Nice job, Murphy. Now the very last exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is your down from a distance. So with the dog seated at your left, always have your dog seated. Fred's going to leave her in a stay, walk out to the end of his training leash, He's going to use his right hand to give the command and drops her into a down. Perfect. So that's your down from a distance. Now we've demonstrated for you her heel, her automatic sit, her stay, her down from a distance, and her come. These are the exercises that you're going to use your video and practice along with at home. She's done a fabulous job here at school. We're very proud of her, and thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.